Hi everybody, it's Ariel from Keys to My Life, and this is going to be part one of the brand new vlog/blog series I'm going to be doing about the Disney College program. So this is my husband Nick. He's going to be joining me in all of these videos and posts talking about his insights and experiences along with mine. So for part one, this video we're going to come talk about what is the DCP, what do you need to have, or what are the requirements to apply, and then kind of our experiences with our first program and then moving into our second program. So let's get started. So what is the Disney College program? Disney College program is an internship that you can do either in Disneyland or in Disney World, where you can work for a certain number of months depending on what your program length is. So you're working in the parks at any of their normal operating roles. You are earning money with them. You are living in special housing that they have, as well as taking classes through them if you want to. Disneyland does require the classes. Disney World does not. So it's up to you. If you are getting college credit, which you can get college credit through your college, you may need to take a class, but that's kind of up to your college, and we'll address that later on in a different video. But you can get college credit for it depending on your major. I know a lot of majors like hospitality. What are the other majors? Hospitality management. Can't think of any others off the top of my head.
Yeah, they didn't really clarify that quite as well. I wasn't paying attention because I was a music major.
Yeah. But a lot of the big majors that the park would want usually get pretty good college credit for doing the program. I was a computer science major. He was a music major. So neither of us actually got credit for doing the program, but it was fun and a great resume experience nonetheless. So the website for college program is disneycollegeprogram.com. I will link it. It has tons more information there on their website than you could probably ever find in a vlog. Basically anything you want to know is on their website, but I'll give a brief overview of what the requirements are to apply. You do need to be over the age of 18. Disney will not accept anyone under the age of 18. There is no maximum age. I mean, we had people in our program that were in their 60s and were grandparents that did the program. Their big requirement is you need to be currently enrolled in a college course when you apply. So if you're applying for fall, applications drop in February. If you're applying for spring, applications drop end of August, beginning of September, depending on the year. So at that time, you need to be currently enrolled, or at least beginning, like in case of August, taking a fall course to apply for the program. If you are not, Disney will not accept you. The only exception to that rule is if you have graduated within the past 6 months, you can apply. Or if you just graduated from a college program, I can believe you can apply for a professional internship. Although we haven't done professional internships, so I don't know quite as much about their requirements, but I think that's a requirement for professional internship as well. So again, you need to be currently enrolled in a college class or have graduated within the last 6 months. Otherwise, Disney will not accept you. That is pretty much their #1 requirement for the program.
Yep.
Like I said, over the age of 18, no maximum age. Other than that, I don't think there is another requirement, is there? That's the only requirement that I can think of.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else either.
So yeah, pretty simple requirements. I mean, what we did for the second program that we're going to be doing in spring, we literally just went to our local community college, signed up for a basic class, and took class. One of our friends from our first program took a tennis class. I mean, all you have to do is be enrolled in a class to apply. Disney doesn't care what it is. As long as it is a credit class. We did ask, it cannot be a non-credit class. It needs to be a credit class from an accredited college or university. Otherwise, Disney won't recognize it. So those are the basic requirements. Like I said, I'll link the website down below. Now we're going to just kind of talk about our first experiences and how we found out about it. We did not know each other before our first program at all. I actually applied in, we did 2013, right? So I applied in the 2012 application season for fall 2012. Made it all the way to the phone interview and was denied. And I had found out about the program from one of my friends who had applied for the program as well and wanted me to apply with her. So I made all the way to the phone interview, was denied. Applied again for the 2013 application season, and that's the one that I was accepted for. I went to fall 2013 in Disneyland. And I felt a little bit more prepared that time because obviously I'd gone through the whole process the first time. And the hardest part of the application process, I feel like, I mean, this is just my personal opinion, is the phone interview. It is very nerve-wracking even for someone who has done it before. Even for this application season for spring, I mean, I passed a phone interview before and I was still terrified. It is pretty scary to go through that. But if you're prepared, it's pretty easy, honestly. They ask you pretty straightforward questions.
To be honest, the most scary one for me is that part was the web interview, just because I mean, I can talk. You know, if people can talk and communicate themselves fairly well, the phone interview is not that big a deal. The web interview, because it's electronically based, it has nothing to do with, you know, people so much. They don't really read into that too much. It's a matter of the answers to the questions that you get, and they have their own little computer system that tells them whether or not it's a strong application or not. And sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, since there's no actual person, there's no way to explain your answers and stuff like that. It can be a little nerve-wracking in terms of, you know, what are they actually looking for and stuff like that based on the wording of their questions.
Yeah, and that is one thing we're going to be addressing in the next video in our series, is what to have ready and what to expect for the actual application, as well as tips for the web-based interview. Because as much as you need to be honest on the interview, there are some tips and tricks you can use to have a better shot at passing the web-based interview, because it is a pass-fail. So if you fail, you don't get to apply again for 6 months. It is you can't apply actually anywhere in the company for 6 months.
That's the scary part.
Yes. So that will be addressed in our next video. Do you want to talk about kind of your first program and how you found out about it?
Sure. Okay, so I found out about the Disney College program. I was going to Washington State University at the time, over in Pullman, Washington. I found out about it, I think, 2011 and 2012. They had a little kiosk in the Compton Union building there, their student union building, and kind of learned a little bit about it from there. I wasn't sure. You know, the Disney College program is kind of set up like a studying abroad kind of deal. You take a semester off and you go and do that, and you come back to school. Typically, is what they expect. For me, I was in a 5-year master's program, so everything was really condensed. Some classes were only offered such and such a semester, so there wasn't really a semester that would have worked for me to take off. So I decided to sign up while I was in my last semester. So I signed up, and did the application February of 2013, and was accepted my first time through into the fall of 2013. Season, so I would have just graduated and been done with everything, which actually made it nice and kind of freeing for me a little bit. Didn't have to work on classes at all. I was actually met. I think it was because it was a bigger college, is a little more represented. I met with someone who had done the program before. That was one of their ambassadors, and they talked to me and a couple other people that had applied, just kind of giving us the ins and outs of, you know, the application process and the interview process, but mostly just about the experience, what to look forward to, what are the kind of rough parts and stuff like that. If you're at a bigger college, it's kind of fun if you can find those people. If not, you know, look up stuff on YouTube. They'll give you the same kind of advice. I think other than that, our experiences getting into it were pretty similar.
Yeah. I know for me, one of the big things I did for my first program is what he said. I looked at videos on YouTube because I didn't know anyone who had done the program. I came from a community college, so I didn't know anyone. People didn't even know what the program was where I was from. I mean, I was having to explain it to people that I knew. So definitely YouTube videos were where I got most of my information. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this vlog series, is I feel like even with the blogs and stuff that's out there, it's always good to get a different perspective from people, especially from us as alumni doing a second program. I feel like we have a little bit different experience than most people do. Plus, our first program was Disneyland, and now we're doing Disney World. And the programs are very different. That is one thing that we're going to be addressing in this series, is what the differences are. Because, while they're not, neither one of them, I think, neither one of the programs are better than the other. There are key differences that can affect if you enjoy the program or not. So this way, you know, if you are debating between the two programs, you can kind of decide which program would be better for you. Because there are pretty serious differences between the two programs, so it is important to know those ahead of time. As well as just getting the word out there. One of my favorite things to do is I'll wear my alumni sweatshirt, and people will ask me what it is, and I could talk for hours about the program, because it is one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that you do not want to pass up if you have the chance. I mean, I would even encourage adults, if you are at a season of life where you can, you know, move away for a semester, do it. Even if you don't see yourself doing a career with Disney forever, it is worth it. It is life-changing. We've made friends that we had friends from our first program at our wedding from other states because we've made these lifelong connections and we've learned these experiences that we couldn't have learned anywhere else. And it is ultimately valuable to have Disney's name on your resume. So it's definitely a good program to look into. Like I said, in the next few videos, we'll kind of cover different things. I'm going to be doing these weekly, so these videos will go up at 12 a.m. Pacific time, Mondays for me, and then on the blog, I will post both this video and just a little bit more information about what I say in the video on Mondays as well. Those will go up at 5 a.m. Pacific time on my blog. That's keystomylifeblog.com. So if you're wanting a little bit more background information, you can check that out on the blog, and I always leave links down below to my blog. Next week's video, like I said, we're going to talk about the application process, the initial application, where you can find that application, when applications go live. Usually you can get specific dates. We'll kind of tell you where to find those, as well as what information you will need for that application, about how long it takes, and then we will also kind of touch on the web-based interview, because that can come right after your application usually, and the tips and tricks to passing a web-based interview. So that'll be next week, and then from there we'll kind of proceed through the application process. Our check-in day for spring is February 1st in Orlando, so I will be vlogging our check-in and kind of splicing that together, and that'll be one of our videos. And then just at some point we are going to do an apartment tour. I haven't decided, how far into our program that will be, but it also will depend on which apartment complex we end up in, because we obviously don't know yet. So we'll be doing an apartment tour. I will be discussing kind of the perks of working for the company, because there are different perks and not everybody knows some of those perks. And just kind of all the tips and tricks you'd want to know about the program. So like I said, those will be coming on Mondays, both on this channel and on my blog. So if you'd like to see more of those, definitely subscribe or follow along on the blog. If you like this video and are excited for more, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And we like getting comments too. We always answer questions. I pretty much answer any question that comes through. So if you have a question, leave it in the comments and we'll get back to you on that. And if you don't have anything to add, we will see you guys next Monday. Bye!
Later.